Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of UC Weekly News. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm at the CTA's annual CES conference. This has got to be about my third or so decade being at this conference, probably a little more than that. It's something that's important to understand where technology is going. And they don't call it the Consumer Electronics Show anymore because it's not just about consumers, it's about technology and innovation. I'm going to show you some products that I've seen. We're going to have some conversations with some people that you know and some people that you don't know, give you a vibe of what's going on the floor. You're not going to hear from me about what the keynote said. You're not going to hear from me about Gwen Stefani performing at the Sphere. You're not going to hear those, well, I guess you just did. You're going to hear from me the things that you wouldn't have understood unless you were here at the show. That's what I want to bring you. All the other stuff you can get in the mainstream media. But for now, stay with us. It's a mix of everything to give you a vibe of what's going on. We'll be right back. I recall this product or something similar to it was shown as an April Fool's joke a few years ago about a mask you could put on to ensure privacy. I really didn't talk to the company because I was a little bit stunned that somebody took it seriously and built one. Greetings, everybody. I'm here with Justin Dawson. We're here at CES 2026. The media days are about to open, and it's always weird to count because this isn't really day one, this is day -2. And then tomorrow, Monday, is day -1, and then Tuesday is day 1, but we've already been here for 3 days, so it gets really confusing.
It does. It gets confusing what day it is. It gets confusing what hour of the day it is because
what city are we in?
What city are we in? And what time zone? Like how many times did you wake up last night, Dave?
A few times in the middle of the night, but you know, it's just because we're exhausted doesn't mean the show isn't going to happen. But in any case, today we were looking at a couple of the private media events. The first one happened today from the team at Uproar. They do a really nice job there.
They did a really nice job, yeah. And as well, like when you have only visited Vegas a couple of times, not as many times as yourself, David, like being able to see the view out that window.
Oh yeah, they were up at the top of the Mandalay Bay. It was very nice to look at the strip and the airport and all the rest of it. A couple of the products that they had there really interested me. They had one there which is a translator, standalone translator, which is something I've tracked for many years, but they're now doing context. So if you're getting a translation from somebody or a photo of something or an image and you don't know what it is, you can actually use the translator to say, what is this? And it'll go out to a large language model and give you some information about what it is. I thought that was really cool.
I like that. I loved the healthcare tech that was in a couple of the rooms. Two devices, one for like measuring your stress, and then Elemind, where the video will be shown where I actually did fall into light sleep within 4 minutes. Like this is a headband that you wear around your head. It's playing white noise. I put in a couple of ear plugs because it was loud, but the whole idea is that like you're listening to this white noise, and I could feel myself completely and utterly zoning out. Yeah, and now granted, I was wearing an eye mask and whatnot, but you could feel yourself zoning out. This white noise decreases as you get into a deeper sleep, and the whole app shows you how long I went.
Really?
It was fantastic.
Now, I'm sure you experienced the same thing as I did. I must have spoken to, without exaggeration, about 20 exhibitors just today. That's nothing for this show, but for today, for an hour, that was pretty good. Every one of them started, we have an AI.
Yes, everything. Yes, like if we got paid, like the slot machines in Vegas, if we got paid for every time that the word AI was being used,
So a lot of people are pretending or saying that they have this bridge to AI, which is actually, it's what one of the themes for the show is going to be. We saw robots that roll around and take pictures and keep you company. One thing I saw that was also interesting, I forget the name of the company. I have to look it up. They're making a new form of smoke detector, and you think of the smoke detector as a sensor in your house, and it's underutilized. What if it had a camera? What if it could test for all gases, CO2 and natural gas? What if you could look at it on an app to make sure that your relatives are okay when you're traveling? So I thought that was really smart and cool. Not very expensive either.
What I like about that is there is other security devices back in Ireland that, yes, it will go to a call monitoring station and they might have a camera built in, but the problem with that is you don't know what the third party
Is doing
with
with
that content. Whereas you own the content there, and if the smoke alarm goes off, you can access it on your app and find out what's going on. Yeah, and the difference of they had different devices for, like, in the garage where maybe someone might like to have a secret cigarette from time to time, and it's measuring the heat rather than the smoke. Yeah.
Well, we don't have secret cigarettes in my house.
No,
but I hear you.
neither do I.
It's much smarter
Yes.
devices, and we like that. There was also a company called Agoyu, Agoyu. I want to get that right. That's making an aggregation of a travel app, where instead of going to your Uber or your Lyft and order a car, instead of going to the Google Maps to look for a restaurant, instead of going to your airline's map and finding out what you see, it's putting all of them in one place, and it's free because they're going to be monetizing themselves from advertisers. So that was another thing that's interesting. Not everybody had their stuff ready yet, but they were ready enough to show it and talk about it.
We heard so many different names, and again, we will put these in the links below after this social. But what I really loved was that shipping company that was doing the app of, it would take the content of your room and the house, and if you are moving to a different location,
different city, different country, different building, whatever it was.
and this is global,
Right.
it would measure the weight of all the items, and then it contacts the agents. So
it was great.
yeah.
You just take a camera and shoot around your room, and it captures everything that you're shooting.
Fridge,
in AI, of
couch,
course,
whatever, yeah.
And it comes up with what your weight and number of items are, and then it'll let you contact movers, and you can have the movers bid on the job. So and again, that doesn't cost any users anything. They're monetizing from the moving companies. So there's a lot of interesting. We're seeing more apps than we are hardware.
Well, the nice thing about that is, like, if you went to a delivery company and said, I want to move a table or whatever, they're going to ask what's the dimensions or whatever. If the app is doing it for you, AI, if the app is doing that for you, you don't need to worry about these type of things.
We're kicking off our world premiere right off the gate with one of our best innovations yet. It's the all-new Wallpaper TV. It's the world's thinnest, true wireless OLED TV. Now this is what a TV should be when innovation blends into its environment, leaving just the experience.
It is unbelievably thin. It'll blend seamlessly anywhere you put it.
The iconic Wallpaper TV from 2017, packed into an ultra-thin 9mm class form factor. That's pencil thin. All the circuitry, even the speakers, are housed inside without compromising picture quality or performance. The Wallpaper TV, reborn, greatness at its thinnest.
Even the speakers, and all in one.
That's right. No visible cables, no clutter, thanks to LG's true wireless tech with ultra low latency, 4K, 165 hertz lossless video and audio. It's the world's first wireless at 165 hertz.
From the Samsung First Look experience here at CES 2026. Samsung's done something interesting and innovative that hasn't been done at CES before. They're in their own space in a different hotel. They're at the Wynn as opposed to in the convention center. And what's interesting here, obviously the show hasn't opened yet, it's only media days. Whenever you were at CES in the past, it would be impossible to get into and walk through the Samsung booth. There was just no room. You were elbow to elbow, and it was a very frustrating experience. Here there's room to walk around and stretch. And so, on the one hand, I like the fact that they've put it here in a separate space and you can move around. On the other hand, it is a schlep to have to come here and go back, and they're probably going to lose some foot traffic because of that. But in any case, they've got some really interesting technology that they're showing here. They're showing a movable rotatable screen, and I'll show you some pictures of that. They've got their micro LED sets that look really awesome. They've got standard glasses-free lenticular gaming screens up to 6K now, and every one of the solutions here is very interesting. So Samsung certainly has put on a good show this year. We'll walk around. We'll give you more updates later.
If you don't have any more questions, I'll wrap up for now. Hello, enjoy the exhibition with me.
Tell me about spatial signage.
Spatial signage is a display form factor delivering 2D detail and immersive 3D spatial depth, designed for exhibitions, retail, and events.
You still don't have the hand movement synced yet.
I'm here to provide information about Samsung spatial signage and assist with any questions you have.
I should be playing the Charlie Brown theme, right?
Do you know how to play the Charlie Brown theme?
I could figure it out.
Okay.
Well, we are at CES 2026 Pepcom, the Pepcom Digital Experience.
Yep.
I've been there many times before. You've been there a few times before. This is your first,
This
right?
is my first, and I've already done a third of the room.
And I know everybody knows this already, but Tim,
I'm Tim Albright.
You are Tim Albright.
I am.
Justin Dawson, All Things Techie Podcast.
and David Danto, your curmudgeonly host, at my, I think, 30th CES. But anyway, rather than give you boring hit-and-run interviews with all the people over here, we wanted to kind of talk about some of the technology we've seen and some of the experiences that we've seen. This was the second and last media day for CES, and tomorrow the show floor opens and it becomes a different kind of vibe.
Rock and roll.
But from here, we have about 100 exhibitors, and everybody's on their own little booth.
Yep.
A lot of AI. One of the things that I wanted to do as a joke was talk about AI drinking game. People would be dead by the first day. It's everybody's announcing it, and
There's a robot bartender over there.
there is a robot bartender over there. There are like 4 robot vacuum cleaners, and I have pictures I'll show everybody while we're talking of a drone flying in the room.
Yeah.
So
Pretty quiet one too at that.
yeah. But
it is noisy in here.
But there were some other things that I thought was really interesting. We just had a great presentation from a company called Strada, STRADA.tech, which is talking about allowing you to use your own home drives for shareable cloud-type storage, but it doesn't have to be in the cloud, which I think is really interesting. I was impressed with it. I think we can use it.
I was eventually impressed once they started getting into the editing process. Right?
Yes.
When you can drop that into an editor, a non-linear editor, that's the one that got me. I mean, nothing against Strada, but they're like, okay, you can share files back and forth. That's lovely. That's great. We've got that, right? We've got some technology that does that already. It's the ability to take that remotely accessible file and put that into a nonlinear editor. Now we're talking.
Yeah. It seems interesting, so we're going to play with it over the next couple of months and let you guys know if it's something that we think is worthwhile, but it looks really interesting. Another thing that I saw that I hadn't seen before, I saw a lot of things that I saw before, including there are tons and tons of earbuds in this room.
Oh, yeah.
Some doing translation, some doing AI, some doing recording. One company sent me their press release. They didn't even show a picture of the earbud. They showed a picture of the case. It's all about how pretty the case is. So we're getting into real weird...
And the technology in the case as well.
Well, that I would have bought into. This was the style of the case.
Oh,
okay.
But one thing I saw which was really interesting, and I don't remember the name of the company, they had a pair of high-quality music listening headphones, and then you put them down in your hand and you kind of screw them like this, and they screw together, and they become a wireless speaker.
Oh, I like that.
Which is, they're all the way down over there. I'll have to get some B-roll
I haven't
of
even
them.
done that side of the room yet.
And look at it. So that's what I come to these shows for something that I never even thought of as a concept. I have bought smoke detectors my entire life for decades, and I saw a smoke detector yesterday that I could actually put into my family's house and monitor video, monitor CO2 levels, monitor natural gas, know what the temperature is.
Yeah.
Now it's not just an emergency sensor. Now it's a monitor that I can feel comfortable that everybody's okay at home.
And you don't have to go to a third party to view it.
Or an elderly relative. I want to keep an eye on, a mom or a dad or something like that, or a crib, baby's room. So I love the idea because these are things we never thought of before that are actually kind of easy to do.
Well, and speaking of security, there's a company called Timely. They have, it is a personal security device that it looks like a flashlight because the base of it is a flashlight.
Right.
But it is a recording device. It will record video, HD video. It's an emergency notification system that will connect you directly to a dispatcher. If you're feeling unsafe, right? If you're feeling threatened, you push this button, you're actually talking to a human being on the other end.
That's
right?
cool.
It's not connecting you to 911, it's connecting you to a dispatcher, right? So that really to me was again, personal security. That's what this show, what PepCom to me, and CES in general, there's parts of it that's what they're looking at is whether it's a smoke detector that does multiple things or personal security devices as well.
And while we're on the topic of smoke detectors and alarms, there's one there that's doing it for pets. I don't know, did you see that?
Yes.
It's a little pet footprint. It's a light instead of sound to alert the fire team that there's a pet in the house and the blinkers are going off and you put that down low.
Something I've never heard of. There's a company back there called, not so much for security, but the idea of combining things that haven't been together before. A company called Olight that makes the most expensive flashlight I've ever seen because it can do focus beam, narrow beam, laser. You know, it's amazing what they're doing with this stuff right now. And it can stay on a constant charge on a magnetic base. So you think of like airplanes that used to have these big bulky things now. So that's what I come to these things for, not to see, you know, what Samsung is doing or what
we did
Sony
know what
is doing. We did, yeah.
We did.
I will show that. But I want to. I tend to like this very big thing that that's happening at the Sphere tomorrow that Lenovo is doing, and I think it's going to be exciting and wonderful and certainly interesting for people who haven't been to the Sphere. But you know what? I can read about it in every major publication tomorrow. I'm going to skip that and do another one of the shows like this because I'd like to find these smaller companies.
Yep, I agree. Like it's a great way to see what's out there. Like when we go to other audiovisual shows, we're looking at going to see the small booth on the side wall, and in here it's like there's so many different startups. There's ones that have been in establishment and come out with a new product, or some that's really thought outside the box. It's a really great show.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why we're leaning here, it's because we're all exhausted.
Yes.
And there are no chairs.
24,000 steps so far today.
I use a watch called the Amazfit BIP 6, and the company that makes it, Amazfit, was here, and I had a conversation about them about how they have to change their software. So that's another worthwhile. You know, you run into people
Because someone's taking a load of
That is the thing. Is shows like this give you the opportunity to have longer conversations, deeper conversations with these companies. Because starting tomorrow, which is when the show starts,
You're not
going
going
to
get
that.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. This is part of our coverage. There's going to be more coverage later. I guess that's the close, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the close.
That will do the close.
The LG video wall is a little broken apart this year. So I've met this gentleman here at the IEEE booth. Sir, who are you?
I'm Tom Coughlin, and I've been very involved in IEEE. In fact, I was the president in 2024, And I also have my own company. I do consulting, I put on events, and I write things, especially related to digital storage and memory in their applications. And I've been going to the CES show for well over 20 years, and I find there's all kinds of fascinating things here. This place is just a cornucopia of interesting stuff, maybe related to consumer, maybe not, but all of it involving technology in one way or another. And IEEE is the largest technical professional organization in the world. We have people working on almost everything you can see at this Consumer Electronics Show that are part of our membership.
The IEEE is sort of like the parable of the blind man and the elephant. You touch a different piece of it,
Yes.
and you get a different experience. What is the short version to explain what IEEE does?
IEEE develops technology and understanding of nature from the bottom of the ocean to the reaches of outer space, from nanotechnology to biotechnology, from hardware to software, just about anything you can think of. We have people that work in these areas.
And it's a nonprofit organization that people can
It
join,
is a
right?
nonprofit, yes.
How would they find out more about it?
You can find out more about it at IEEE.org.
That was one of the easy questions.
And our mission is advancing technology for the benefit of humanity.
So what's going on in the booth this year?
In the booth this year, they are doing a very interesting AI. Of course, there's a lot of AI at the CES. They're doing AI for generating your own music track. It should be any kind of genre. There's tying in AI topics into it. It seems, for instance, I was autonomous vehicles, for example, and but also, things about how much you trust AI and don't trust AI, and then they use AI to generate a song in some kind of genre that you choose from some particular era. I chose the 1960s folk, and it generates a song. You get a chance to listen to that. If you don't like it, they'll generate a new one, and then they give you a copy of it.
That's terrific. So if somebody wants to reach out to you personally, how should they do it?
At tomcoughlin.com.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Some of the first products that I looked at this year I think are very interesting. Everybody's trying to build this bridge to AI, and there are a number of handheld devices coming to the market that are meant to do audio recording and transcription and summarization without having to go to the cloud in some cases, and without having to use your personal device, keeping these things separate and isolated. It's an interesting use case. I admire some of it. I think some of it's a little silly because people are going to want to use their own phone, but then if I'm in a meeting or if I'm having a chat with somebody, I'd rather not have to give up my phone and give up the ability for me to use it while I'm doing recording. So I can understand it. One is this product from Plod, which does recording, and then when the recordings are done, you connect it to your phone and upload it to the cloud, and they provide you with the transcription. And they also have a wearable version of that they've come out with. And you're using it, or just leave it on a table to start recording. Single button press, and then after whatever you've recorded is done, you sync it via Bluetooth to your smart device. It goes up to Plod's cloud, and it'll give you the transcription. Another version is this device here. Let me explain it to you as we go through it. This one is private. It doesn't need a cloud at all. It does all the storage and AI transcription on device. So what we're looking at is TransAI's Note, which is capturing not only my voice, and you can see the voice print going through on the capture, but it's also capturing the words that are being written on a whiteboard through its built-in camera. The camera sits to the front of the unit here. This is one of a series of devices that are being developed as essentially handheld AI companions so that you don't need to connect to the cloud. It's another one of the bridge devices. This is purely hardware. It doesn't connect to the cloud. It's for transcribing meetings when you don't want to send the meeting information to the cloud. Hopefully, you can see that it's recording a good facsimile of what I'm saying. And when you're done with this for the day, you transfer it over to your smart device and can use it any way you want without having to move your sensitive recorded meeting data to the cloud. This will be available sometime around May. Price point, around $700, $800, depending upon the features and whether you want to get it with the dock. Has about 6 hours of battery life. And when I asked how long it can record for if it's on the dock, the number was unknowable. They thought the memory was enormous. So it'll be one of many of these devices that are being used to transcribe that we're starting to see breakthrough here at CES 2026. Again, This one is Trans AI Note, and they're describing it as the world's first on-device AI meeting note taker, not connected to the cloud at all. All the information is built in inside. At CES 2026 today, I was honored to be in the audience when Jensen Huang was awarded the IEEE Medal of Honor. Take a look.
Above all, the Medal of Honor recognizes the technology that is poised to drive society forward for the benefit of humanity. With that, I am pleased to announce that the recipient of the 2026 IEEE Medal of Honor is NVIDIA founder and CEO, Jensen Huang.
I want to thank the IEEE for this incredible honor. I want to thank my wife, my beautiful lab partner, for supporting me all these years, and I want to and for raising two amazing kids who are both in technology today, and I'm quite proud that they're working at NVIDIA, and so anyways, thank you for this incredible award, and I received this on behalf of all the great employees at NVIDIA. Thank you.
I work at I represent X-Origin AI, and X-Origin AI, we are on a mission of creating better accessibility to AI for everybody. And this product here, we're trying to make AI easy to use for general purpose. So the way how we do it is A, make it very affordable, B, put it in the hardware that's easy to use, 3, try to make it such that people don't need to ask difficult questions to get good answers. Yeah, and the way how we do it is we create AI characters for each different tasks. So people is already ready to go. It could be a chef, it could be a motivator, it could be a virtual companion, it could be anything like your personal assistant, for instance. So you turn it on, and it links up to the Wi-Fi. And once it's connected up, hi, how are you doing? My dog, I need to style it. Can you give me some advice?
Practically twirling around with excitement. Shiva is about to become my muse for today's magical styling adventure.
Greetings, everybody. We're back at CES 2026. I'm here with Aaron Denley, who works for Logitech for Business. So I know Logitech has a big consumer profile and will be at a show that's legacy consumer, but why is Logitech for Business here? What are you doing at this show?
Yeah, so at Logitech, we're really looking to extend human potential across both work and play. And we're here at CES in Las Vegas 2026 to leverage the cutting edge AI technology and the sensing tech that we see on the consumer side, and really looking to incorporate that into our portfolio of products and solutions on the enterprise side. So we're really wanting to be the eyes, ears, and hands of AI to make our users more productive.
So it's kind of like educating people that when they touch Logitech, it's like the parable of the blind man and the elephant. Everybody touches a different piece, whether it's a mouse or a camera, but you're trying to make people understand, like land and expand, make it people understand the larger portfolio.
Exactly. It's bridging the experience between humans and technology.
Okay. Are you showing anything new at the show this year?
So we have a lot of great products that we've recently announced. So we're showcasing a few things, especially using Edge AI technology. So showing our devices that bring AI to the device level. So specifically, we have the Logitech Sight tabletop camera, which I know you're familiar with, that gives really inclusive meeting experiences for remote participants by making them have a seat at the table. Sure. And then we have our Zone 2 wireless headset.
Those were just released about a month and a half ago.
Yes, selling very well. It really helps with the active noise cancellation, so in loud, noisy environments like a CES or at an office with a lot of people who have returned to the office. This this product is absolutely perfect. And so incorporating the technology that we're seeing here is something that we're showcasing too.
And you and I both, I assume, are going to be in Barcelona not together, but in Barcelona for ISE.
That's right.
With a couple 100,000 of our colleagues in the industry. Will you have some new announcements coming out just prior to that event or at that event?
Yes, so ISE is a great opportunity for us to continue to showcase those solutions we've recently launched. We have lots of great MPIs and innovations that have launched over the last few months. But in addition, we will be having an announcement. We have something called our Next Up series on January 22nd, and we will be announcing some new products. So definitely log on to see what we're announcing there, and we'll be showcasing it at ISE at our booth.
Okay, and I'm sure you've got a registration code, right? If people go to Logitech.com, they'll find the registration code if you want to be part of ISE as a guest of Logitech.
Yes.
And the interesting thing, the world colliding type nuclear explosion, you're going to have Nathan and Neil together boasting about Logitech products. That's going to have like its own gravity, right?
I know, two of the industry's best. We're very lucky and fortunate to have them working for Logitech for Business. So they'll be on site, they'll be speaking to lots of press analysts, media, yourself included, and so they'll be able to talk more about all of the great technologies that we have at the show.
Okay. You know what the booth stand, ISE is going to look like, and how it'll be laid out or anything yet?
Yes, every year we try to do something a little bit different, incorporate a bit of the location that we're in. So last year we had a mosaic to really tie in the Barcelona kind of Gaudi-esque feeling, but we really approach our booth design to give our users the best experience to see all of our technology. So not just across work, but also play. So we have team workspaces, personal workspaces, and gaming. So we're really trying to see in a day in the life of a user and a person, how we can best showcase the Logitech technology for you to experience that, plus our ecosystem of partners, our alliance partners, our verticals, so specific solutions in education, healthcare, public sector. So all of that will be on full display at ISE.
Okay. You've been doing this for a long time, as have I. We were just chatting before we turned the camera on about our shared experience at Blue Jeans and other places. What do you look for when you walk around a show like this? What impresses you from what you're seeing, as opposed to just your own products? Of course, they're the best, but what do you get as a vibe from here?
Yes, so believe it or not, this is my first time ever experiencing CES.
Really?
So I am a newcomer. I am seeing
boy.
this with fresh eyes, and I'm really energized. To be honest, I've seen quite a few technologies that I didn't know existed. I think the pace of innovation in this space specifically is massive, and I think that there's really interesting companies doing interesting things. So if I need a robot to mow my lawn or clean my pool or watch my birds in a bird feeder or create an AI chef for me, all of that is here at CES. So it's been really exciting to see. It's kind of a glimpse into the future of tech, and so there's no better place to be than CES to experience it.
Yeah, I haven't counted in detail, but I'm about my third decade, 30 or 1 or 2 or something years going to the show. And we have a record number of people that cover enterprise communication here this year. AV-Nation is covering it, Rave is covering it, a lot of other co-analysts, because there's no consumer technology and business tech. There's technology, there's innovation. So you get to kind of get a big vibe from this. So I've always found it very useful, like an 18-month look ahead as to what's going on in the industry. And so I'm glad you're getting that experience as well. And don't be too scared by like the traffic and the shuttles and the hotel food and the other crazy stuff. All right, so one last question. If there's anything you want your consumers, buyers, product users to know based on what Logitech for Business is doing today and where it's going in the future, you're going to look them right in the eye and tell them, what do you want them to take away from what you're doing?
Yeah, so at Logitech, we're really looking to make solutions simpler, smarter, and more sustainable. And so we want to create technology that helps you connect to the digital world in a way that you feel more productive and that you get joy out of it. And so hopefully we've achieved that. We have a very premium lineup of products and solutions and services. We're going to continue to innovate. We are a very design-led organization, and research and development is paramount in our company. And so we're really excited. We have lots of great things in the works. We have more innovations coming up. So stay tuned, stay close to Logitech, and hopefully we'll be able to share more soon.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. And like I've said a million times and in writing, when you want to do business with companies, look for companies that are hiring great people, not companies that are laying off people. And Logitech is certainly one of the companies that's hiring great people, from your leadership all the way on down.
We are hiring, we are growing, and we have really big plans for Logitech for Business to double the business in the next 5 years. So now is the time to join. So if you are interested, definitely check out our careers website as well.
Double win. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, David.
Hi, so Vasco is a Polish company. That's where our headquarters are based. I'm the head of the US market, and we're here with our translators, Vasco Translator Q1, Vasco Audience, some new software and new features. Old device, new features, but amazing.
So this is the C1, right?
Yes,
that's
Pick it up
and turn it around for a second. Look, it is smaller than a mobile phone, roughly the same form factor.
Comes with a SIM card, so you can connect globally. No data is necessary, no subscriptions. It translates voice to voice. You can clone your voice, but what we added this year, actually, it's the AI layer, additional contextual builders. So imagine yourself being in Japan, Osaka, seeing that metro map. You can take the photo of it. Device will analyze the photo, recognize it, and tell you what that is. But it's not enough for you, because you want to get some information, like how much do I have to pay for the ticket to Osaka Underground? You can interact with that model and get information about your surroundings, understand the ingredients of the dish you're looking at, make sure that it's safe for you to eat it. So you get information, you can go deeper and deeper.
So it's providing simultaneous or near simultaneous translation in multiple languages.
Yes.
And when you have something come up that you don't understand, socially, contextually, visually,
idioms, slang words,
you can press the button and it'll give you that information.
So it's the extension of the translation. We want to go beyond just simple understanding. We want to build contexts. We want to help you understand the surroundings, being part of the environment, not just interacting with it.
Is it available now?
Yes, it's on the market. Vasco-translator.com. That's where you can purchase our products. The AI layer and offline translation will be added in the next quarter or the second quarter of that year.
And roughly what does it cost?
$489, one-time payment. Everything is included. Updates and data package, global data package is in the price.
Including the subscription for the SIM card that's in there and everything else.
That's correct.
So I'm paying for it one time and using it years.
No top up. Yes.
That's it for this week's episode of UC Weekly News. I'm your host, David Danto. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be having some conversations with other analysts and exhibitors that were at the show, so that they can give you a sense of what they felt happened and what was important over here. But for now, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again next week. Take care.